In this video, I'm going to be reviewing the art book of a stop-motion animated movie that, although visually beautiful, is somewhat twisted and creepy at the same time. Hey guys, Craig here, back for another installment of Art Book Review, and this month's review is going to be on the art of Nightmare Before Christmas. Now, I've always been a huge fan of the twisted mind that is Tim Burton. Beetlejuice and Edward Scissorhands are two of my favorite movies, but Nightmare was the first stop-motion animated feature film that Tim did, and it really had a huge impact on me. So when they came out with the art of book for this movie, I grabbed it right away. So without further ado, let's check out the twisted mind of Tim Burton. First of all, I just want to start off by saying that I really don't think that Tim Burton could have possibly gone down any other directorial path other than the one he's currently on. His drawing style is just as weird and creepy as his movies. He has this very eccentric and yet somewhat troubled childlike aspect to his drawing style. I think if a kid in this day and age was to fill his or her sketchbook with morbid drawings like this, they'd probably find themselves in therapy pretty quickly. And that's one of the things that I love about this art book. You really get a vivid glimpse into how Tim Burton's mind works. It's really hard to believe that Tim was a Disney animator for a large part of his early career. I don't know about you, but I don't see anything in his movies that even remotely resembles traditional Disney animation. I think it's pretty safe to say that whatever inspiration he received while working at Disney, he left at Disney. Tim Burton is truly one of a kind, and this art book just emphasizes that point all the more. Now, the movie Nightmare Before Christmas was based on a poem that Tim had written back when he was working at Disney. He actually pitched the idea to the heads of Disney, only to be shot down. Who could have saw that coming? Now, because he wrote the poem while working at Disney, that meant that Disney owned the rights to it. So even if he had wanted to make the movie apart from Disney, he wouldn't have been able to. It's kind of odd how that works. Fortunately for all of us, he hung on to the poem and would repitch the idea to Jeffrey Katzenberg years later. Thankfully, Jeffrey thought it would make a great addition to the Disney portfolio. If you want to read the original poem, it's in the book. Although the book does contain a lot of images featuring stop-motion animated sets, it still has quite a bit of drawn artwork for all you illustrators out there. And all of the drawings seem to share a very similar style to one another. So if you're a fan of creepy, then this book is for you. For anyone who's unfamiliar with the process of stop-motion animation, the book goes into quite a bit of detail on the history of it, which is really interesting. And this history goes all the way back to television shows like Davey and Goliath and Gumby and Pokey. Can you imagine how much of a gloriously twisted world we would be living in today if kids back in the 60s and 70s had been exposed to Jack Skellington every Saturday morning? Now, if you're a fan of pen and ink work, you are going to love this art book because there's a lot of it in here. There's something so cool about the simplicity of this artwork. This book is a must-read for all of those budding artists out there who don't think that they're talented enough to actually make a living as an artist. This book is proof that your artwork doesn't necessarily have to be polished to be successful. It just has to be creative and unique. I really love how they include a lot of the dialogue from the movie in this book. I honestly think this is the only art book that I've ever seen that has done this. As someone who was and still is a big fan of Halloween, this artwork really brings me back to my childhood. There's something about the colors black and orange that always get my heart racing. Throw in a few ghosts and a skeleton or two and you've got my attention. Now, not all of the artwork in this book is Tim's. There's a lot of storyboard artwork in here, as well as conceptual drawings from other artists. And some of it is absolutely incredible. I'm a big fan of ink work. It takes a special set of skills to pull off cross-hatching properly. Any artist who can show value in a drawing with nothing more than a few drawn lines is impressive in my book. There's also a lot of ink and wash style pieces in the book as well, which just takes the ink work to a whole new level. What really blows my mind about this book is how closely the claymation character designers actually stuck to the original hand-drawn artwork. It's as if they didn't even try to embellish on the characters at all, and that they made a conscious effort to make the final movie props as unrefined and simplistic as the original drawings were. Now, I couldn't do this art book review without mentioning Henry Selick, who was the actual director of this movie. Although the original concept for the movie was Tim Burton's, I don't think that the final look of the movie would have been the same without the influence of Henry. Henry, like Tim, also didn't fit into the Disney mold. This is probably why the two get along so well. But if you're a true Tim Burton fan, or just someone who loves the macabre, then this art book is for you. The artwork ranges from stick figure simplicity to full-color digital masterpieces, with some storyboard drawing and stop-motion process photos thrown in to boot. I honestly can't flip through this book without being taken back to my childhood years, when October 31st was drawing near and I used to doodle a wide variety of ghouls and goblins on the cover of my school workbook, to my teacher's dismay, of course. The Art of Nightmare Before Christmas is an in-depth look into what it takes to make a stop-motion animated feature film. And after reading this book, I can tell you that it's a lot of hard work. But as long as I'm sure those work days were, getting to take part in the creation of this iconic motion picture masterpiece would have been worth every painstaking second of it. Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas will definitely go down as one of my favorite Halloween-themed art books of all time. And if you're a fan of the creepy, then you may want to consider adding it to your art book library as well. Well, there you have it, folks. Another amazing art book, The Art of Nightmare Before Christmas. Now, if you'd like to add this book to your own personal library, I have an affiliate link to it in the description below. And if you choose to use my link to buy the book, you not only get this incredible art book, but you also, at no extra cost to you, help to support my channel, which allows me to continue making free content like this for you. So for that, I thank you. Also, let me know in the comments section below what your favorite art book is, because I'm really in need of some new art books for my personal library. If you want to see more of my art book reviews, I'll have a link to my art book review playlist at the end of this video. Now, the fact that you're watching an art book review video tells me that you're probably an artist. And if you're new to my channel, try checking out the tutorials in my drawing and design playlist. You can find a link to it right here. Until next time, take care.